Okay, stress test. What that is today we're gonna have to find out how high your heart can go. Okay, that's gonna be a very important workout because when you're gonna be training with TTP, your entire training program, every stamina workout, every endurance workout, all your PMA, all the work that you're gonna do, you will have to be on a certain percentage of your max heart rate. So you're gonna calculate all these numbers for the whole year based on the numbers that we're gonna find today. So this is gonna be an important test. It's gonna hurt, it sucks to do it, but you're gonna have to push yourself and you're gonna have to do it. I would recommend you to do that on a spin bike at your gym. I would not necessarily recommend you to do that on your road bike because you're gonna have specific timing to do, and I don't want you to be bothered by a stoplight, a stop sign, or a car or anything. The stop that you're gonna do on the road will really affect your workout that you need to be doing here. And like I said, it's an important workout, so you're gonna need to be very accurate with your timing. So spin bike is great for that. All right. So obviously, first step is you're gonna need your heart rate monitor. So you're gonna put your heart rate monitor. If you never used those before, make sure you put some water underneath the strap because you're gonna have a heart rate monitor that I want you to have around your chest. So make sure that you have some water so that your watch is gonna read accurately. And then you're gonna put your heart rate monitor and you're gonna attach it on your spin bike. I recommend you to use those foam. All right, just put it on the handlebar so it's all thick enough for you to attach the watch. And then you're also going to need a stopwatch that you're going to attach it as well. So I recommend you to use two of those. And one, you're going to attach the heart rate monitor, and the other one, you're going to attach the watch. Now I know there are a bike out there that gives you lots of things, gives you a heart rate, plus it gives you time and all that. Great, if you know the computer well, use that. But most spin bike, they're very simple. It's basically metal weld together, a big heavy wheel, and a fixed pedaling. So that's what a spin bike is. A lot of times they don't even come with any computer. So with your stopwatch and your heart rate monitor, you're completely independent, and that's going to work well for you. Make sure that you have the stopwatch separate than your heart rate monitor. The heart rate monitor, a lot of time, they also have a stopwatch in it, but they only display one at the time. So it's going to be very important that you can see both display. One display will have to be your time, and the other display will have to be your heart rate monitor. If you can have both display in one, good. I just use a stopwatch and a heart rate monitor, so it's simple. I'm independent from any computer weird things out there, so that's how I do it. All right, so that's what I recommend. Okay, so now the workout. 4-step. If you cannot see the number very well here, don't worry. It's exact. I just copy what's on your scorecard, so you can follow along here. Step number 1. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do 5 minutes at 50 to 60%. On the example, my son Leo is going to do the test. If you've done it before, you're gonna just calculate those numbers based on your heart rate. Okay, your max heart rate. If you've never done that before, you're gonna use the estimate of the number 220 minus your age. Okay, so my son is 11 years old. Okay, so 220 minus 11, that's 209. So simple math, what you're gonna do if you wanna calculate 60%, you'll basically do 209 times 60 divided by 100. And that's gonna give you 125. So 50% will give you 105. 60% will give you 125. So he needs to be, so Leo needs to be somewhere in between that. So 110 would be a great number to focus on your heart rate. And you're gonna do 5 minutes of that. That's very easy. That's called active recovery. So it's gonna be very easy. Then once he's gonna be done with that, he's gonna do 5 minutes at 60 to 70%. You are never going to stop pedaling. From the beginning of the workout all the way to step number 4, it is important that you never stop pedaling. You can change the resistance on your spin bike, but never stop pedaling. So once you're done with your 5 minutes, You just go a little bit faster, or you can put more resistance, up to you, whatever feels better for you. And then you're going to do 60 to 70%. On Leo's case, he's going to be from 125 to 146. So again, 130 would be a great 131 would be a great target for him to do. All right, so the next 5 minutes is going to be 70% to 80%. So the number is 146 to 167. So 150, 155, that's the number he wants to spot right now. Let's go, Leo. 150. Then another 5 minutes at 80% to 90%. So his number will become 167 to 188. This will not be easy. At this point, you're going to be sweating over here. So he needs to bring his heart around 170, 175 to spot a good number. So let's go, Leo. 170. Keep going, a little bit more effort. Excellent. So be careful at one thing. So if you've never used a heart rate before, a heart rate, it's not a speedometer. Okay, so once you're going to be using that, make sure that you keep in mind that there is about a 15-second delay between you pedaling harder and for your heart to catch up. Okay, so what I mean by that is that if you are at 125 and you want to go to 146, don't go fully hard, because 15 seconds later you're going to find yourself at 146, but your heart's just going to keep on going 160, 170. You're going to pass it way too high. So then what you're going to do is you're going to completely slow down. But again, if you slow down too much, then your heart's going to go right back down to 146, and it's going to keep going back down. So in other words, if your threshold is right here, if this is where we want to be, you don't want to be constantly chasing it like that. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to try to be that way. So if you were trying to hit there and you go way too hard, you're going to pass it. Now you're way too high, now you're going to stop the effort and you're going to go way too low. And so you're never going to be able to really target that number, because you're not keeping in mind that 15-second-ish delay that you're going to have to deal with. So what I would recommend you to do is make small differences and see how your heart reacts. So if you go from 125 and you're done with your first 5 minutes and you want to go to 146, from 125, start pedaling a little bit harder and just do a little bit resistance. Don't sprint it out. Just pedal a little harder and see how the heart reacts. If your heart gets up all the way to 130, keep pedaling a little bit harder, and eventually you will hit the spot and you will know how to hold around your 146 and not prevent your heart from going way at 200 and then, okay, way too difficult. Now you're going to just completely rest, and then your heart's going to go right back down to 100, and next thing you know, you're not at all where you need to be for the entire 5 minutes. So just keep in mind, it takes a little bit of adjustment. As you get used to it, learn how to read your heart rate. Okay, so that's going to be the step one. So it's basically a warm-up. Then step two, what you're going to do, already there, as I explained, at the last 5 minutes, you are already going to be sweating here. So you're going to be pretty much close to your max already there. What you're going to do is going to do a 30-second as fast as you can. So that's why you have to have your stopwatch. So really pay attention, reset it if you need to, but pay attention the time. You're going to go 30 seconds as fast as you can. Ready, Leo? Yeah. Go, sprint, go. At this point, watch where your heart is. You're perhaps going to be around 199 or 200 depending on your age, but that's going to be really hard. 30 seconds off mean 30 seconds where you just pedal slow. And I don't want you to stop. I just want you to pedal slow. Then after that, you're going to do another 30 seconds again. So we just done our first 30 seconds. So the heart went pretty high. Now he's going to rest, active recovery for 30 seconds. Now he's got to do it again. Okay, you ready? Go. 30 seconds. Go. At this point, your heart will pretty be at your max. So watch where you're at, and you'll be close to your max. Okay? Then We're gonna do step 3. If your heart has gotten to 200, I'm giving you an opportunity to beat that number. You're gonna be trashed, your leg's gonna hurt, but just go for it. At this point, I didn't put any time. You don't have to do 30 seconds, just go as long as you can. And try to beat. If you have it in you and you feel that you have some gas, just go and try to beat, let's say, that number 200. Try to go 201, 202. Can you still go to 2? Eventually, you're not going to be able to go any further. At this point, when you cannot go any further, release the resistance and pedals up. And then make sure that you pay attention to that number. That may as well be your max. So maybe you got it to 203. That would be your max. I'm also giving you another opportunity to do that again if you want to beat that, let's say that 203. But this one is optional. At this point, you may not be able to continue. I mean, that's going to be really, really hard on you, okay? So, but if you feel after that you've done your max effort there, let's say I use the number 203 and that's your max heart rate, which is very, very high, okay? You're going to be resting 1 minute. If you feel that you still have it in you and you think that you have some gas left and that you think that somehow you can pass that 2 or 3, gosh, it reminds me of those years. Go for it. You have that opportunity there. Max effort one more time. Try 203, 204, whatever, and that will absolutely be your maximum heart rate. Step 4, release all the resistance, and then you just pedal 10 minutes. At 50 to 60%. So just pedal, just spin your legs, no resistance, slow spin, just let your heart goes down. That's gonna be a heck of a beat up. I've seen athlete throw up. I've seen athlete, depending on what they eat, like almost passed out, okay? So be careful, it's gonna be a heart test, but we need to know how high your heart goes. And that test will give you your 100% max heart rate.